Look, we gotta talk about Southeast Asia. I gotta be real with you, I can't handle the sun. That's the number one reason I cannot move here. I went outside yesterday and I did a snorkel tour. Oh, I have nothing but regrets. I am so sunburned and there's nothing any sunscreen can do about it. This is the reality of Southeast Asia. The sun will kick your butt, okay? And yes, it's beautiful. Look at this, luxury hotel, beautiful island life, gym, all this came at $27 a night. This is an incredible value. We just went out to eat the best pad thai of my life here in Thailand. And we shared a papaya salad. It was still less than $3. So it's killing me. It's absolutely killing me because I love it here. I absolutely love it here. I love the people. I love the prices. I love the weather in some ways. Yes, I do like warm weather. But when you can't even get in the sun without getting your butt kicked in less than a minute, that's bad. Am I just being a wimp? Am I just being a little baby here? I have tried a lot of different sunscreens. I brought 100 SPF with me from the US. I've been wearing Reef Safe, blue something or other, really fancy Australian sunscreen. I tried the local products too. Man, it's intense. Kicking my butt. And unfortunately, I think it's because, our planet is in peril. Nobody wants to hear that. They just want to party and keep burning oil and all this, but it is catching up with us as a planet. Not saying this is Southeast Asia in particular. And in fact, I feel a lot better about my carbon footprint being here. My, gasoline usage is way down. I mean, I'm not driving a car anymore, and the motorbikes just sip gas like it's gonna last forever. And I put it in 1 liter and it lasts a week. So, it's a dilemma. It's a big dilemma I'm having in myself. Like, I don't want to go back to America, and I also do. The reasons I don't want to go back are the food's way better here. The prices kick America's butt. That meal with half of a papaya salad and pad thai would cost me at least $30 back in the US, and it wouldn't even be as good. And that's sad, That is difficult when you can't even afford to go out to eat. Like, that's a necessity, man. I can't just be at home cooking a can of beans every day. It's hard. It's hard to do that. I've done that. That's what I do in the US, man, because everything is so expensive. $30 to go out to eat. If I do that 3 times a day, every day, how much is that per month? That's so much money. That's unaffordable. And I'm not saying I do well in the US when I'm there. I make good money in the US. And it's still not enough, for that. So I'm having this dilemma. Maybe you guys can help me figure it out. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think I should do. I have decided. I bought a ticket back to the US in July because that's the best time to be there. July, August, September, October, and I'm gonna be riding my motorbike around, going on adventures, and I'll still talk about everything, being there and everything, so stay tuned. But I'm thinking about coming back to Asia after that. I'm not sure what I wanna do after that. Another part of me wants to go to Latin America too. I could ride my motorbike south and go down to Mexico, Panama, And I could also fly. I'm also talking with a friend who wants to do a motorbike trip around South America. So that could be amazing, going down to Chile and then south into Patagonia. Oh gosh, I know that would be incredible. Maybe that's the best option, huh? But it's hard to know what to do. It's hard to go back to the US. I feel like I've left and I can't go back. Now that I know what's out here, how good life is, how happy, I'm just so much happier out here in Thailand. Even in Vietnam, I was happier. I spent 3 months in Vietnam, for those of you just new to this channel, and I talked all about it. But I like Thailand a bit better. It's nicer. The infrastructure is better. I like the people better. It's more developed and prepared for visitors. So even though the prices are quite a bit higher here, I'm happy to pay it. I'm so grateful. I'm a lucky man. First of all, to be able to travel. Anyone who is able to leave America and has enough money to come over here to Asia and spend an indefinite amount of time, they are one of the luckiest people on earth, because you're taking your American dollars over to Asia, where they're worth so much more, sometimes 10 times more. And the plane ticket pays for itself, because you are going to come over here and first of all, you're going to love it. It's nice over here. It's different, it's not the, sanitary kind of insular suburban life in America. It's more raw, dirty, but real, and over here in Asia. But I don't mind it, really. It's not like I'm having a problem with getting food poisoning or anything like that. So I really don't mind it. The things here in Asia like that make it worse than the US. For me, I think it's a better fit to try to push myself to be uncomfortable. I didn't want to really continue on with my rural American I was just sleepwalking through life. I'm realizing now in America. I would work and I'd go home and watch TV. How boring is that, man? Yeah, I'd go to parties sometimes. I'd go hang out with friends sometimes. But here I just feel immersed in life, The travelers and people I meet over here are interesting. We've all decided to leave our home countries and come and explore. And so you have a very interesting, adventurous type of person that you're meeting over here. And I love that. I love meeting people from all over the world. It opens my mind. Back in America, I was just hanging out with Americans. We don't get a lot of tourists because it's very difficult to go there. It costs a lot of money and the visa is hard. So it's more insular. And that affects your mindset. I find it harder over here in some ways because I don't know the language, But it's easier as well just to strike up a conversation and be like, hey, you look pretty white over there. How you enjoying Asia? I know you're not from here, bro. So socially, psychologically, I feel like it's healing me because it's an illusion that we are sold this idea that we don't need each other. We absolutely need each other in this world. And in Asia, that is ever so apparent because there's so many people here and they are serving you in so many different ways that you can't escape this idea. It's more of a collectivist mindset. And I think that's better for your mental health, to realize the interconnectedness of it all, to go deep with you. I like talking about deep stuff. My name's Daniel. I'm a poet and a musician. I'm originally from North Carolina, and I just like talking. So thanks for being here. Subscribe if you like it, what I'm talking about. And I just love Southeast Asia. You know, I actually tried it out 2 years ago. I flew to Bali, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I only lasted 2 weeks because you get there and it's just overwhelming. It's so overrun with tourists, motorbikes. The infrastructure is not even close to what it needs to be. And, you know, people are getting food poisoning, and it's just, I wouldn't recommend Bali to anyone. Even the lesser traveled parts of the island that I went to. So what I should have done was come to, Thailand or Vietnam or Philippines and checked out some more areas in Southeast Asia instead of just basing all my opinions off one little island. And that's one of the pitfalls that I think a lot of Americans we fall into. We believe the hype around places like Bali and Bangkok and all these places. But these are the kind of the worst places you could choose. If you go off the beaten track in Southeast Asia, it gets so good, interesting, and cheap. Look at the country Laos. I used to always call it Laos. That's a mispronunciation. It's Laos, and nobody goes there, basically. It doesn't get hardly any tourists. And one of the reasons is the US government put a bunch of landmines there for the Vietnam War and, poisoned the people there. So it has a difficult history, but if you go there, I've never been, but if you go there, it is the most affordable country in the world. You can get a meal sometimes for less than 50 cents. Depends on what you're doing, depends on where you're at. But it is so affordable. And that changes your life. This changes your mindset, what you believe that you can do, what you believe about others. God, it's incredible. It has freed me up. You know, we're sold this idea in America. We're living in the land of the free, home of the brave. But look how free I am in Asia. I can go out to eat whenever I want, every meal. I can get a massage anytime I want to and not worry about it. I can ride a motorbike around wherever I want. It's incredible. The amount of personal freedom I have here is unparalleled. I've never experienced anything like it. And it's not even, something that Latin America can compare itself to. I don't think there's a Grab or, like a food delivery service that is so extensive over there like it is here in Southeast Asia. Where I am right now on Koh Samui, you can get a Grab, a ride anywhere on the island, and it's a big one. You can get any kind of food delivered to you within half an hour. Coffee, anything you want, delivered at the drop of a hat. And that's incredible. In America, you can't often get that if you're not in a city. They just won't serve you. And if you are in a city, oh, how much you'll pay. Oh, the hidden fees, the tips, it goes on and on. It doesn't even make me want to spend anything over there in America. And it makes you feel like you're being taken advantage of when you're spending $50 to get a meal delivered to you that should cost $6 here in Asia, It's incredible. We aren't told about this in the news. Here you go. If you saw an article on Google News or wherever you get your news, it would say something like, "Oh my God, man overpays for years, thousands of dollars for Thai food, and then decides to move to Thailand because he can get it for $3 instead of $30. You know, that kind of headline is not gonna go over well. They don't want you to know about Asia. They don't want you to come here. They don't keep stats on the amount of people leaving America. They don't want, and more people are leaving now than ever. More people are thinking about this now more than ever. And they're looking at Thailand, they're looking at Vietnam, they're looking at the Philippines. These are all interesting countries that have unique things to offer. As an American, you can go to the Philippines, one of the most beautiful countries in the world, English speaking, affordable, stay there on temporary visas for 3 years. You know, that's a good deal. Here in Thailand, you can get a 5-year DTV visa. Doesn't cost that much. You know, maybe $400, something like that. Reasonable, completely reasonable. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. The sun is a butt kicker. But maybe I'm willing to put up with it. I can't decide. You know, no place is perfect. No place can be perfect. And I can handle the sun for a minute. God, I'm pitiful. I mean, I just forgot to put, I never put sunscreen on my legs. And I only put it on once in the morning. And then I forgot to do it, reapply the rest of the day. And yeah, it got burned pretty bad on the backs of my legs. Because when you're snorkeling, you're just on the water like that, floating. Your backside gets torched. But hey, maybe I should just suck it up and learn how to reapply sunscreen every hour. Because it sure does pay for itself.